Now, we'll be remaining in northwestern Europe for the moment, and we will hear from Sible Schone, I believe, from the Netherlands.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have to rush because my name is Sible. I have to rush through my presentation. I will go very fast. It's actually a quite different type of campaign we had in the Netherlands. And 40 NGOs are involved, all the big NGOs. We work both on adaptation and on mitigation. And actually the focus is on getting the sense of urgency in our society and getting consumer action. And through consumer action we put pressure on the business sector and on, of course, the, where is this? Oh, sorry. On the government. The background is 1 year ago, 2 years ago, we concluded the NGOs have a lot of good policy proposals. They work quite well nationally, internationally in the policy field. But there are two major problems. Actually, there's one big problem. CO2 emissions continue to rise, partly because of things like new coal-fired power plant, but also because lifestyle doesn't change of people. So we said, and one background issue we also observed is people consider climate change still as a rather abstract environmental issue instead of as a social issue. So we needed to change that. And another observation we made was that there are many initiatives in society to tackle climate change at the local level, at consumer level, whatever, but they are not linked together. They are not part of a bigger movement. So we said we need to change that. And one other reason I have to do it anyway. So we said our strategy of our campaign is we need to reposition the issue. We need to make climate change a here and now social issue. And to get this done, we need to involve new players who say they are concerned about climate change, like the Red Cross, like Oxfam Novib, like the water sector who talks about safety, like farmers who talk about the blue tongue virus. So we need all these constituencies to involve these constituencies, and these constituencies can actually convince the public that climate change is a here and now social issue. And we also decided to create a new brand that brings together all initiatives to reduce the risk of climate change. And I'll go very fast. So we said we have a campaign and a program with 3 objectives. Let's involve many other constituencies. Let's bring climate change in the top 5 of social issues. And the third one is, let's invite people to make themselves climate neutral. Climate neutral should become a new lifestyle. And these are the participating NGOs, so it's WWF, it's Greenpeace, but also many development NGOs, but also the Red Cross and many humanitarian NGOs. You can actually most of the NGOs. We actually made a huge investment, and actually all the humanitarian and development NGOs, they started their own projects on climate change, mainly in developing countries. The Red Cross, for example, started a project in Central America, and this focuses on the introduction of early warning systems for hurricanes. Other NGOs started projects like water project in the Horn of Africa, because they're facing droughts and they're facing extreme rainfall in those regions. So all these NGOs started their own climate project, and they started to communicate about these projects to the general public. The nature conservation NGOs started to work on nature as a tool to make our country safer. You know, you can build higher dikes, but you can also give rivers more space. Also, they work a lot with nature's calendar, which is actually observing climate change in your backyard, observing butterflies, observing whatever, and then seeing the climate is changing in practice, in reality. And this is a huge, in a way, a special movement of thousands, 10,000s of people in the Netherlands who observe climate change on a daily basis, and all these people are potential activists, of course, in the future. We have a public campaign. This campaign first focused on issues like top 10 appliances, efficient light bulbs, financial products and climate neutral products, and then we decided why not bring everything together and change the message to the public, and the message now is make yourself climate neutral. It's a very radical and positive message. Stop contributing to climate change as a consumer. It's easy, it doesn't cost you a lot, and at the same time you can help the major victims of climate change. What it's all about, this is the logo of the campaign, here the Netherlands climate neutral. What is it? It is reduce your energy use where possible and compensate the rest. So you insulate your house, buy an efficient boiler, buy climate neutral gas, buy efficient appliances, buy green electricity, buy an efficient car, buy a green insurance that compensates all your CO2 emissions, fly less and compensate your flight. So it is really 100% message to the consumers. But climate neutral, of course, it's a consumer action, but at the same time, it's consumer pressure on the business. So it's pressure to introduce more efficient products, more green electricity. Why are you still selling inefficient light bulbs? You can ask your retailer, why are you doing this? You know there's a climate problem. So it's also pressure on the government to make climate neutral living easier, and it's of course permanent innovation. If the compensation part, we focus on energy for the poor project. So this is a biogas installation in Vietnam. We talk about solar home systems, efficient cook stoves, and the message is so you can reduce your climate footprint and at the same time help by these projects the major victims of climate change. So it's a very positive message. Well, some pictures. This was where we started our campaign with Al Gore. It was very successful. This is ads on the streets. We're in a daily weather program with our Here message. And every day there's an item on climate change. This is a visit to Nepal to show the impacts of glacier melting on human life. This is one of our very popular pop artists who is doing a campaign on school, and the school that wins this climate campaign gets a free concert of this guy. This is an ad by one of the development NGOs. This is the website of the Red Cross with the Here logo. This is the Berg website with the Here logo. This is a Greenpeace ad with the Here logo. So you see all these NGOs can still, because that is one of the big problems, of course, if you talk about climate change, all the big NGOs, they want to raise their profile with this issue. So how do you combine that reality with a new effective campaign? That is really one of the key questions we have to address, because otherwise you will never get a huge campaign. We also invite the business sector to join, and they can use the logo to promote efficient light bulbs and a number of other products that help to reduce your climate footprint. And of course, our public campaign is a very good background for our policy work. And we have policy work in 3 areas. First, of course, the environmental NGOs. The government accepted the 30% target. They are now preparing a lot of implementation measures. We also want natural solutions for climate adaptations, and a number of the NGOs involved, they are looking for new financial mechanisms to help poor countries to adapt to climate change. So we have policy proposals in 3 areas, very similar to the German proposals, I think. And this is an example of a report which was offered to our Prime Minister. And so we focus this year on climate neutral. All the participating NGOs make themselves climate neutral. We decided to start with a quite moral public message. We got some extra money from the government to run our campaign. We use Live Earth, and in the Netherlands the Live Earth message will be make yourself climate neutral. So we made an agreement with the Dutch BBC, and they will spread this message during the Live Earth event. And so climate neutral is both an individual action as a political consumer action.